Just because you saw your boss buy a brand new Tesla doesn't mean you're getting a raise. Spoiler alert, it probably means you're paying for the charging station with your unpaid overtime. Now, onto the story. It all started in the fluorescent jungle known as open office seating, a place where employees silently calculate whether it's worth heating their lunch in the microwave, knowing it will stink up the office for exactly 48 minutes, while managers argue about growth projections. Meet Ethan, the finance analyst, who once believed revenue and profit were basically the same thing. After all, money comes in, money goes out, right? Easy. But like every corporate tale, the devil wasn't in the details, it was in the PowerPoint slide that someone forced him to present. Ethan's boss, Mr. Thompson, walked in wearing a suit that screamed, "I watched too many Wolf of Wall Street clips on YouTube." He tapped the table, cleared his throat, and said, "Team, revenue is up by 40%. We're rich." Everyone clapped like trained seals. Ethan too, because clapping is free. But deep inside, he knew something was off. The office printer was still broken. The coffee machine produced liquid anxiety instead of coffee. And HR had just sent another email titled "Due to budget constraints." If revenue was up, why did the office still feel like a crime scene? Ethan decided to investigate. He printed out the company's financial statements on his own dime, at a FedEx office, because remember, the printer was still broken. He sat there, under a flickering tube light, highlighting numbers like he was cracking a true crime mystery. And then bam, he discovered the plot twist of all plot twists. Revenue was up, but expenses were up even faster. The company was basically a broke influencer with an expensive Gucci belt. Revenue looked glamorous on the outside, like that one colleague who posts vacation photos from Cancun, but secretly lives off instant noodles. Profit, however, was the truth. Profit was the leftover money after all the bills, the rent, the questionable business dinners, and that team-building axe-throwing session no one asked for. The next morning, Ethan confronted Mr. Thompson. "Sir, we have high revenue, but our profit margin is thinner than the free toilet paper HR supplies." Thompson smiled, leaned back in his chair, and said, "Ethan, don't ruin the vibe with logic." That's when it hit him. Revenue is the corporate Instagram filter, shiny, impressive, and utterly misleading. Profit is the ugly, unfiltered bathroom selfie. Meanwhile, employees kept living in denial. Jessica in marketing thought the company was doing amazing because they ordered bagels for Friday's meeting. Ryan in sales bragged that numbers are skyrocketing, while quietly ignoring the fact that his expense report had more zeros than his commission check. But Ethan couldn't unsee the truth. Every time someone shouted revenue is booming, he heard the faint background music of a horror movie. And here lies the corporate hack. Revenue will fool you, it's designed to. It looks good in presentations, it impresses investors, and it keeps employees clapping like they're at a bad reality show. But profit is survival. Profit decides whether the AC works in summer, whether HR can actually afford to give you holiday gift cards, or whether you're getting another "we value your dedication" instead of bonuses email. So next time your boss brags about revenue, ask this one killer question. "Sir, after all expenses, what's the profit?" Watch their smile fade faster than your enthusiasm at Monday morning stand-up meetings. By the way, if you're enjoying these corporate hacks, stick around. Because here, we don't just survive office life, we Ctrl-Alt-Succeed. Back to the story. Ethan didn't stop at discovering the truth. He turned it into his secret survival hack. Whenever managers went on about growth, he'd quietly ask about profit margins. It gave him the power of knowledge, the kind of power that lets you know your company isn't actually rich. So maybe don't count on that promised promotion just yet. And the best part, understanding profit made him a smarter employee. While others spent their salaries like the company spent its revenue recklessly, he budgeted like a CFO. He knew looking rich and being rich were two entirely different PowerPoints. The lesson: corporate life is a never-ending illusion show. Revenue is the magician's smoke. Profit is the rabbit that may or may not exist in the hat. Don't get dazzled by big numbers, whether in company town halls or your own bank balance. Ask the real question: what's left after the bills? Because in the end, just like Ethan discovered, the only thing worse than a broke company with high revenue is a broke employee who thought their salary was profit, until rent showed up. So, next time someone at the office yells, "We're growing," smile, clap, nod politely, and then whisper under your breath, "But what's the profit, bro?" That's the real corporate hack. And hey, if you enjoyed laughing at corporate misery while learning how to survive it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ctrl-Alt-Succeed, your only safe space for sarcastic survival hacks in the 9-to-5 jungle.